of solid steel exposed to the elements. It doesn't take long for the environment to break it down. Moisture and oxygen attack the surface, and that rigid, unyielding structure quickly flakes away into rust. Now, look at human tissue. We are made of soft, highly alterable matter, mostly water, fats, and fragile proteins. By basic rules of chemistry, a structure this delicate should disintegrate in a matter of hours, yet we easily outlast machines forged from the strongest metals on Earth. We tend to navigate our health using a deeply flawed assumption. We imagine the human body is a very complicated machine. We think of our organs as mechanical parts that simply wear out over time, waiting to be swapped or repaired like a worn-out fan belt. This diagram highlights the contrast. On the left, a steel I-beam represents the machine, destined to slowly degrade. On the right, the webbing represents the organism. The body doesn't wear out, it constantly changes, improvising to meet every new situation. When we insist on viewing our biology through that rigid, mechanical lens, we misunderstand the very nature of human survival. We blind ourselves to how our tissues actually heal, how they age, and how they persist through time. Modern society has certainly mastered the illusion of youth. Thanks to major advances in heating, ventilation, dietary hygiene, and cosmetic surgery, a 50-year-old today is far more active and alert than someone of the exact same age a century ago. This chart reveals the underlying reality. Look at the flat trend line representing ultimate lifespan. Despite our younger appearance, a middle-aged person mathematically has zero increased chance of surviving to 80 than they did a century ago. We haven't added a single day to the absolute span of human life. This failure comes from treating the body like that mechanical car engine. For centuries, we've tried to replace single, supposedly broken parts to extend life. Pope Innocent VIII tried transfusing young blood into his veins, and surgeons like Voronov even tried grafting chimpanzee testicles into aging men. These bizarre interventions failed because of the mechanical fallacy. Old age isn't caused by a single deficient gland or an isolated broken part. It is the result of simultaneous, sweeping modifications across all of the body's tissues and fluids at once. True biological age is a highly integrated, holistic state. Because the entire system operates as one unified whole, we will never achieve true longevity by simply swapping out isolated components. Our survival day-to-day relies on a watchful automatism called adaptation. It is the indispensable baseline condition that allows us to persist through time. When you sit quietly, your heart rate and breathing might feel perfectly stable, but that internal stability is a complete illusion. Biological equilibrium is never a state of passive rest. To maintain blood regulation, your system manages a chaotic storm of inputs and outputs, absorbing digestion fluids, losing water to sweat, and using chemical buffers to neutralize acid. If volume changes, countermeasures trigger. The carotid artery sinus contracts vessels, while the heart increases pulsations. What feels like a peaceful state of health is actually the result of unceasing, violent activity. Your entire organism is waging a continuous war to protect your fragile inner world from the chaos of the outside world. During a severe hemorrhage, a cut artery drops pressure instantly. The body induces fainting to crash pressure further and buy time. This triggers a cascade. A clot forms, tissues dump fluids to re-establish blood volume, and bone marrow begins manufacturing millions of new red corpuscles. We usually credit doctors with fixing these types of massive traumas. But the counterintuitive reality is that a surgeon's hands do not actually heal tissues or force a wound to close. This graphic outlines what surgery actually accomplishes. The most accurate sutures are useless if the organism lacks its own repair mechanisms. A surgeon merely prevents microbes from obstructing the process and brings tissue edges together. They guide spontaneous activity. They do not create it. The purest triumph of modern medicine was the realization that normal processes of healing must simply not be hindered. Healing is a purely internal automatism that external tools can only support, never replicate. This internal automatism possesses teleological intelligence, a capacity for tissues to perceive and prepare for remote future demands long before they arrive. This foresight is visible in surgery. If a surgeon performs an extirpation, the removal of one kidney, the remaining organ instantly increases in volume. This rapid growth creates a massive margin of safety, proactively shielding the body against unforeseen demands for the rest of its life. This proactive reshaping creates a physical record of every event the body has overcome. Unlike a mechanical clock that repeats the same movement every second, our tissues are in a state of constant, irreversible modification. We are not just moving through time, We are accumulating a biological history that dictates our own internal pace of existence. This chart explains why time races as we age. The straight horizontal line is uniform physical time. The downward curve is our physiological pace. In childhood, rapid organic changes make years feel vast, while in old age, these internal changes drastically slow down. Physical time never actually accelerates. The terrifying sensation that the years are rushing past us is merely an illusion created by the progressive slackening of our own internal physiological rhythm. We are not machines made of rigid steel, and we are not standardized parts wearing out on a chronological schedule. We are a fluid that slowly becomes solid. As this graphic states, our time is strictly internal. Our true age cannot be measured by the spinning of the earth or the days on a calendar. It is measured entirely by the cadence of our inner rhythm and the progressive chemical modifications of our own tissues. Yet we build our entire world around the clock. By categorizing human beings in schools, factories, and hospitals based strictly on their chronological age, we are attempting to manage organic life using the uniform rhythm of dead physical matter. To build better humans, we have to rethink those systems. Our education, our medicine, and our society must stop operating on mechanical clock time and align with the relentless, adaptive rhythm of our actual inward duration. We only persist through physical time because our soft matter ceaselessly improvises. Our survival and our entire existence is wedded to this continuous, unceasing transformation.